would you just look at it? We're gonna finally take the Mustang out tonight. You guys will see a video on that later this week or weekend, but I just got news that they have released, now this is not official, but they have released some specs on the Shelby GT500, some specs and options that you'll actually be able to choose on the website. Now, this is coming from a forum member on, I think it's Mustang 6G, so it's not technically accurate, but it is accurate because it's coming from a Ford website. So I'm gonna pull up my phone and we're gonna go over those options. If you guys are wondering, what the heck is this guy doing talking about Mustangs? He's a Mopar guy and he just bought a Mustang. The Shelby GT500 is the newest, baddest car that's coming out. I just love cars in general. When the Vet was coming out, the ZR1, I talked about it a lot. I think it was a badass car. When the Demon was coming out, I talked about the Demon a lot. I thought it was a badass car. The Mustang Shelby GT500 is the newest kid on the block. It's been around before, but this is the newest generation. I can't wait. People have asked me, I did a live chat on it the other day, am I going to get one? It is a very, very high possibility that when the Shelby GT500 becomes released to the public and it gets to dealers or dealers start getting allocations, we will go over there and see what we can work out with the dealer. Will I get rid of my custom single turbo 2018 Mustang GT 10-speed? Hell no. This car is not a daily driver, and it's not going to be. It is a street car. It's going to remain a street car. It's not going to become a full Cobra Jet style dragster car that you can't drive on the street. It's got a VIN number. It's got everything power working. It's a street car that I would like to drag race most often. I can drive it on the street. It's one of those things that if I want to take it out on the street, if I want to drive it to work on a Friday and then hit the track after, I can do that because that's what I built the car for. But the Shelby GT500 would become more of like a daily driver with mods, simple, basic bolt-on mods, kind of like what I would do if I got another Hellcat. When I had my Hellcat, I really liked it when it was just like an upper pulley, and I didn't like that it had meth injection, but something just like an upper pulley intake, and maybe put it on E85 or race gas on the weekends if I wanted to take it to the track and throw some drag radials on it. But for like a daily driver, if I had the new GT500, I'd probably do like an upper pulley, intake, exhaust system, something pretty subtle, and then put it on race gas, a race gas tune for the weekend if I want to go mess around at the track, or just keep it on pump gas all the time. But anyways, let's go over these specs that have come out and the options that are going to come out for the Shelby GT500. Okay, so this is from Mustang6G.com, which is a Mustang forum, and shout out to Patrick Rawl from Torque News for actually sharing this. He shares a lot of stuff within the Ford, Chevy, and the Dodge community, and he actually writes for all of them. So it's pretty cool when he shares stuff in like a Hellcat forum. I'll see it because he does stuff for all of them. So as you guys know, the Mustang was just released a couple days ago, the horsepower numbers, which everyone's been waiting for, especially since like the Demon came out and then the ZR1 came out. Everyone was like, where is the Shelby GT500 numbers? Where are they? Where are they? We're looking for them. 760 horsepower, 625 foot-pounds of torque through a 5.2 liter V8 with a big supercharger on it, which is awesome. And that's why I say bolt-ons, and that car is going to be amazing. Just like the Demon. A lot of people are modding them and going deep, deep into the 9s. Even people have gone 8s. They take so well to mods when you have a V8 that's already supercharged from the factory. Whereas behind me, I've got to throw boost on my car, but even then, that Coyote takes to boost so well. I can only imagine what these new motors are going to do with the supercharger. So as you guys have known, they just released those numbers. Now everyone's excited. Who knows when the allocations are going to start coming out? Yes, certain dealers will get a certain number of allocations, some more than others, but eventually anybody will be able to get a GT500. It's not like a Demon where they're only going to make 3,300 of them. They'll just be a little bit harder to get at the front. You know, if you want to be some of the first people to get one, it's definitely going to be a little bit harder to get one. Plus, there's definitely going to be dealer markups. Kevin, my brother, he bought his Demon at MSRP, and everyone else was paying 20 to 30 over it. It was insane. And now Demon prices have dropped again. You can definitely get a new one for like 105 to 110. MSRP is like around 89 to 95 depending on the specs and options you get. But definitely when the GT500 first comes out, you will be paying a dealer markup at most dealerships. I made another video about the Chevy GT500 when the numbers were released, and people already said that their dealerships were not going to charge it. I get that, but there will be dealers that are going to charge it. That's just how it goes. So let's get into some of the performance options. So they've got a list of technical enhances or upgrades to the Shelby Mustang that you may choose from. Exposed carbon fiber wheels, that's been an option before, obviously with the GT350 and the 350R. So you could choose between exposed carbon fiber wheels, which are very expensive, and they're super cool, they're super lightweight, but the problem is when you F one of those up, you're in big trouble if you've got to replace that. So you'll choose between that and some high gloss black wheels. They got a 373 gear in the back, whereas the Coyote with the 10-speed, so it's totally different because this will be a 7-speed, this is a 10-speed, so you can't really compare, but it looks like it's going to come with a 373 option. These usually are like 315 or 355 if you want to compare. It looks like it's going to come with 305, 35, 20 all the way around, which is pretty interesting, seeing as like when they do a performance pack Mustang, it's usually like a 275 in the rear and a 235 in the front, I believe. Something like that. They usually stagger them for the rear wheel drive cars, but it looks like they're going same size all the way around, which is very similar to the Dodge Demon. They did the same thing. And then obviously you can put the skinnies on at the track. There is a active valve performance exhaust. There's track package, pedestal rear spoiler, handling package, carbon fiber track package, and an exposed carbon fiber wing. So it sounds like all the carbon fiber is going to be an option. You might not have to actually go with all of that. I thought the wing would be something that would come on all of them. I'm not sure, but that is an option. It looks like, at least from what they're listing here. Not sure what's actually going to be involved in the track package, in the handling package, but these are just options that they found out that are going to be listed. So back to the interior, some options that are going to be available: AM, FM, single CD, and HD radio. They still offer CD players in cars in 2020. I mean, I know we're in 2019, but this is a 2020. B&O sound system, 12 speakers. So it sounds like you can get an upgraded stereo system if your GT500 is not going to be a track purpose car. Maybe you are going to daily drive it a lot or take it on cross-country road trips, and you want a nicer sound system. Looks like you can upgrade to the B&O sound system, which is like the upgrade that you can get in the F-150s or F-250s. Technology package, tire inflator kit, voice activated touchscreen navigation. So it looks like you don't have to get the navigation. It's going to be an option between the navigation system and just like your regular single CD player, which is kind of cool. It'll save you some money if you don't want to go for the full, technology package and get the navigation and the upgraded stereo. Blind spot information system, that's always nice. Climate controlled front seats, obviously they're heated and cooled. Dual zone climate control, equipment group 950A, which I don't know what that is specifically, so if someone knows what the 950A package is, comment down below. Exposed carbon fiber, Ford Pass Connect 4G with Wi-Fi, leather trim seats, or Recaro leather trim seats. Now, the previous Recaros in the previous GT500 were so sick. I would definitely put those in my Coyote. However, this car is going to become a track purpose car, and I will most likely just be putting something like a Kirky or something very lightweight in there. But the leather trimmed Recaros were really sick. So it looks like you can choose from like your normal luxurious leather seat that's kind of sporty, or you can actually get the leather Recaro, which actually will hug you more to be more performance oriented, which is pretty cool. Exterior options, which everybody has probably seen the colors that have come out, but we can kind of go over them. This is what I was reading: black, blue, gray, or red vehicle cover. So you can order that option from the factory. That's pretty normal when you go on a website and you order a new car or you price out a new car. You can always add a car cover to match. Tape stripe delete, so you can actually delete the stripes, which I'm a fan. I don't know. It looks good on the GT350, but then I've seen 350s without them and it still looks good. So you can go either way. You guys comment down below would you do the tape stripe delete or would you keep them? I think on a GT500 you're probably gonna keep them unless you're going for that really clean look. Vinyl over the top stripe, vinyl side stripes, high gloss ebony stripe, high gloss Kona blue stripe, high gloss Oxford white stripe, high gloss shadow black stripe, white stripe with yellow accents, over the top stripe delete, paint side stripe, bright white stripe, bright white tape stripe, ghosted carbon fiber stripe, that would be cool, wheel lock kit. So those are all the stripes. I thought they were listing the actual paint options, which everyone's pretty much seen. They got the grabber green, the blue, the orange. I haven't seen yellow yet. I'm sure they'll offer yellow. But we could actually probably pull that up. But those are some of the options. Obviously, now that the GT500 horsepower numbers have been released, everything is starting to slowly come out and slowly get leaked as we get closer to dealerships actually getting these. So those are kind of the options that this guy on the forum had found that are foreseen to actually come out, which is really cool. So I actually pulled up some of the colors for the Shelby GT500. I'm sure you guys have seen this stuff, but I figured we might as well talk about it while we are here. And this is a really cool picture. It shows the different Shelby GT500s over the different generations, which I'm going to post it now. So in 1967, it came with 355 horsepower, which was a ton of horsepower back then. You guys got to remember, the cars were a lot lighter. They weren't as safe. So 355 horsepower, and they were louder. So 355 horsepower felt like what the 800 horsepower feels like now. 2007, Shelby GT500, 500 horsepower. 2013, they bumped it up 662 horsepower, being the highest horsepower car manufactured at the time. It was a manual transmission. I could only imagine. I think this is where the Hellcat did it right. They offered it in the manual and the auto. And the autos are just so much faster. I know, I get it. Manuals are cooler, manuals are more fun to drive. I've had plenty of manual cars. It's definitely the more driver-oriented experience, but if you're going for strictly quarter-mile times, auto is always where it's at. So imagine if they would have made the GT500 auto. I've actually seen a few shops auto swap Shelby GT500s. Now that they're from 2013, 2014, they're becoming a little bit easier to buy because the prices dropped so much on them from when they first came out. And so now a lot more people are getting them, a lot more people are modding them, and I've seen people put autos in them, and they are just nasty cars. So now that brings us to 2020 with the 760 horsepower, which is really cool. Anyways, let's go down to the colors. I saw it here somewhere. Somewhere. There we go. So the colors that have been released so far: Grabber Lime Green, which was that super sick green color, the iconic Silver, Red Hot Metallic Tinted Clear Coat, and Twisted Orange Metallic Clear Coat. I believe they've released more colors since this article. This article is kind of older because I remember I saw the blue somewhere and I thought the blue looked really good. So we're just kind of waiting. Obviously no prices have come up on the specs, no prices have come up on the MSRP. Everyone's kind of just speculating. Everyone's speculating the dealer markups. There's just so much speculation. It's all over the place. But like I said, with the horsepower numbers finally being released, they are starting to kind of release everything. You know, we kind of know what colors are coming out. Now we know what specs or options you can get with the car. Obviously, there's going to be more options that come out when you actually purchase the car. So hopefully, I don't know when, I'm going to talk to our friend at the Ford dealership, but hopefully they start releasing allocations soon. I know at one Ford dealership when we were looking at some trucks a couple weeks ago, he had already said that his boss has an allocation just waiting for him. So once they release the allocations, he's got one right away. I don't think you can actually get one quite yet. I know that when cars are released or they talk about cars, you can actually physically go in and put a deposit on a car that has not actually been released yet. Pretty crazy, you're just giving them money. But essentially what that's saying is, right when that comes up in their computer and they can put they get the allocation to order the car, you are first in line, you've already got your money on that. So I don't really want to do that, but I do want to get in contact with a local dealer or a dealer that wants to work with me on getting one for MSRP. I most likely wouldn't spec it out to the full, like I wouldn't get all the track package and appearance package and all that stuff. I might go for the more basic one. However, I would like certain items because I do think it would be more of a daily driver, and I would just do something like upper pulley, intake, exhaust headers, maybe an E85 tune, but most likely I'd realistically like to keep it on pump gas, as I already have a car on E90 and that's enough to keep up with as it is. But these cars, you'll be able to make really good power with pump gas. And like I said, you could run something like a Q16 or a C16 on the weekend with a different map and just switch over to a different pulley. If you guys aren't familiar with supercharged cars such as like the Hellcat or the Demon, the cool thing is when you get a hub adapter on there, you can switch the pulley very easily. And usually if you don't go too far within between the sizes, you can actually use the same belt. So when you're at the track, for instance, you could switch the map over from a pump gas map to a race gas map. You could swap the upper pulley to a different size, use the same belt, get the pump gas out of there, put some race gas in, and essentially in like 15 to 20 minutes, you've got a whole nother power level for the car without ruining the drivability during the week of the car. And I think, like I said earlier in the video, that would be something that I would really be interested in doing to the Shelby GT500 if I were to get one. I'm not 100% certain that I want to get one, but it is definitely on my mind. It's definitely an option for me, and I think it'd be a really cool car to get. So there are some specs and options for you guys that have been released. I will try to keep you guys up to date as I see some stuff. I'm sure you guys will see stuff sooner than I will on Google, but I saw that stuff come up and I thought it'd be cool to share. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content on my 2018 Mustang GT that has a custom single turbo kit, we are getting it ready for the drag strip. Race season is upon us. We got some Ignite E90. We're going to turn it up and we're going to have some fun this summer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. As always, make sure you follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, Vanby39. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video. Comment down below what you think of the Shelby GT500 in 2020, and I'll see you guys on the next one.